Sound check, sound check. Can you guys hear me? It is 4 p.m. here on the West Coast. Alec, can you confirm that?
It is 4:03.
No, not the time, but the the sound. Can you guys get some hands up or some hearts? I don't know. You can't do hearts on this, can you? Raised hands. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. You guys are from all over the place. This is so much fun. I'm gonna go to a live video. I'm gonna go to a live video so you guys can see what we're doing here, just for a few, and then we'll get back to it. So you guys know we're not in some giant studio here. Hey guys.
Hey everybody.
Hey everybody. Ryan Whedon here. This is the Mob. What do we call this?
Mob headquarters.
Mob HQ. This is where all the magic happens. This is where we do a lot of our technical training and our group coaching and all kinds of stuff here. This is where all the fun happens. So I just wanted to say hello. Thanks for joining everybody. This is amazing. If anybody has any questions, we're going to be doing a Q&A at the end. So make sure you stick around the whole time. It's probably only going to be about an hour. I know it's probably a day off for you. And if you're working or you're checking this out in between clients, thank you for spending some time with us. This is so much fun. It's funny getting ready for one of these webinars. Let me see, my head looks big from that angle. Okay. It's funny getting ready for one of these webinars or just any event really. And this is an event that you do in your house pretty much. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes where about 10 minutes ago, I'm like, this isn't working. The sound's not working. We can't log on to the site and people are starting to join. And if anybody understands what that stress is like, if you've put on events before, if you've been backstage for events, you always see the top of the iceberg, the shiny, fun stuff, right? But you don't see all the stress and all of the hard work and the pain that goes in behind it to make it all work well and to make it all worth it. So I hope you guys enjoy what we're going to be talking about today. It's going to be expert secrets on how to fill your books, and not just with anybody, but with clients that pay what you deserve. So we always talk about charging what you're worth, but we also need to make sure that we're providing a lot of value to our clients so that they feel comfortable paying what you're charging. And also it's going to make you feel better about what you're charging, because you're not going to feel guilty like you're ripping somebody off, and you're not going to get to that awkward moment at the end of a service where you say, this is how much it is. How do you want to pay for that? By the way, do you want to book another appointment with me in 6 weeks or so? So we have a lot of struggles as hairstylists, because what we are is a lot of times we are people pleasers. We go over above and beyond to try to please our clients because we want them to love us, know us, and trust us, right? So we want to, a lot of times we give away too much. We put our best foot forward, and then a lot of times we feel like we didn't do enough, and we don't feel right charging $200, $300, $400 for a service that might have taken us hours, and we don't take into account maybe how much money it actually cost us during that time. And I'm not talking about just your time, but I'm talking about product that you've used. I'm talking about other ways other expenses that you've put forward into that price that you're charging somebody that could be $400. Maybe if you spent $300 on products, on booth rent, on a number of other items that I can't even think of off the top of my head right now, and how many times did you fill up your bleach, and all these things, you got to take these into account. You might only be making $100 off of that service. So when you start to put things into that kind of like, I was gonna say mind frame, that doesn't make sense, frame of mind, into focus, then you realize you're like, wait, I'm only making $100, I'm only really charging them $100, even though the price tag is $400. So, but if you think about, okay, well, yeah, now I feel really comfortable charging that because I need to make some money. You know, I have people that rely on me at home. I need to make more than that, actually. So how can I put more value into what I'm doing every single day to make more money? So I talk a lot about this. I talk with a lot of stylists on how to grow their business and how to scale it in a way that's not only comfortable to them, but in a way that's, you're not going to be completely stressed out all the time, wondering how to pay your bills each week. And everything like that. So I just want to say thank you guys for being here. And I'm wearing this Hero shirt. We've got this incredible event coming up at the end of February in Orlando at this awesome resort. It's called Hero. And what it is, it's a blend between the hair business and entrepreneurship. So we actually have some great entrepreneurs that are going to be coming to this event and do a series of almost like TED Talks combined with some of the top level balayage education and some social media education. Jamie Dana is going to be one of our guest stars of this event. So if you wanted to check out more on that, go to mastersofbalayage.com and click on the class schedule and scroll down to Balayage Hero. It's going to be so cool. If you guys can make it, that would be so awesome. So people are having trouble hearing me. Okay, maybe I got to talk more into the mic here. Talk into the mic. Hello? Is that better? Sometimes I get a little too animated and I move away from the microphone. Can you guys hear me? Can I get some hands up if you can hear me? Hands up, hands up, hands up. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. We got a lot of people here today. This is great. So I'll make sure that I keep my mouth pretty close to the microphone. If you guys can't hear me, please let me know, because I want to make sure that what I'm putting out there, you guys are getting, and I want you to walk away with some actionable items to build your business, to grow your client list, and to fill your books in 2020. And it's highly achievable that by the time you get to the holiday season, next season, that you already have a full clientele. And what that means is you don't have to work so hard on Christmas, because January, you're going to have clients. In February, in those slow months, you're going to have clients. And then, what you can look toward the future is you can actually start to take vacations during the holidays instead of working from 7 in the morning until 12 p.m., whatever, crazy hours. You know what I'm talking about, where you're falling over at the end of the holidays and you get sick because you've worked too hard and you haven't eaten and you haven't taken care of yourself. And then you need those slow months in January to actually recover. But what I want to help you do is create a business that is self-sustaining, that is push button success, that you have clients that are always coming in. You're always getting new clients. You're always being able to raise prices. I want you guys to be super successful, and that's what I stand for. If you've ever listened to me before, can I get a raise of hands? Anybody that's been to any of my classes or listened to me before? Then if that's the case, you know that I believe in you guys, and I am here to help you succeed. And that's what I'm doing with these webinars and with my programs and everything that I talk about too. So let's get started. I'm going to take the video off right now. I have some notes here to make sure I stay on track, because I'm already going off into different tangents here. So I know that your time is valuable, and I also need to get back to my wife and my baby, or I'll get a knock on the door in an hour and my wife will be telling me, Ryan, it is time to play daddy. So get off the computer and come help us and go play with your daughter. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go off the video here for a little bit, and then we'll come back a little bit later with questions. And if you have questions we don't have time to answer a lot of questions, because I need to get through all the content, but just make sure that you stick around till the end. And I might even be able to answer some questions along the way if they're relevant to what we're talking about. I want to stay as focused as possible. All right, so stop video. Perfect. Okay, now I can also make sure the microphone's a little closer to my mouth. Okay. Okay, guys, expert secrets to fill your books with clients that pay what you deserve. So if you're just joining on now, hi everybody, welcome to the webinar. This is Ryan Weeden, founder and CEO of Masters of Balayage, creator of Balayage Online, which is our technical training. I am a Wella Global Ambassador. I'm host of the Hairpreneur Show podcast. If you haven't listened to the Hairpreneur Show podcast, I have been on a little bit of a hiatus because I've been super focused on getting all these other things up and running with my technical training and coaching programs and everything like that. So I'm going to be getting back into that soon. So please go ahead and subscribe to that and wait for some new episodes coming in the next week or so. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about an important topic in all of our businesses, something that many of us continue to struggle with on the daily, continually in our businesses, which is, how do we fill up our books? How do we get our clients not only to come, but also to stay? And more importantly, how do we get the clients that we actually want in our chair? I'm sure we all have those negative Nancys and those people that we look at our schedule, we see them on the day's agenda, and we're like, oh God, she's here today. Okay, this is going to be a really great day, right? And we all have those clients. So wouldn't it be nice if we could just fill our day with clients that we absolutely love and that absolutely tell their friends about how much they love, oh, Ryan's the best stylist. refer all my friends to him. He's just so much fun to hang out with, and I have a great time every time I'm there, and I know he's always going to do a great job. Those are the kind of clients that I want to surround myself with, that I want to have be in contact with every single day. And in the salon as well, those are the people that I want to see in my books, because we all have our favorite clients, the ones that we look at our schedule and we're like, oh my God, Linda's coming in today. Oh, I can't wait to ask her about how the wedding was and how this was, and yada, 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 to make sure that like you just have this energy with these certain clients. And if every single day was like that, wouldn't that just be like a dream day, a dream job, that you're always working with people that are super excited to be with you, and vice versa, that you're super excited to be with them. So now, again, if I said, if you can wait around till the very end of this presentation today, of this masterclass, I do have an exciting announcement today that I can't wait to share with you. I got to make sure I don't give it away early, but and some of you might know what's coming, and that's totally cool. But it's something that I want to share with you, and I'm going to just shut up there, because I don't want to give anything away. I'm pretty good at giving away my secrets a little bit too early. So everybody's telling me just be quiet. Okay. So I also, let's see, I'm going to be joining you at the Q&A at the end here today. So if you have any burning questions, I'm going to stick around for probably an extra 15 minutes or so and see what I can do to help you with your questions that you have on hand today. So that way you can walk away with this new training and this new insight and ideas, and put it into play in your business right away. So super, super excited. Okay, so let's get rolling here. Why is this not working? Okay, I gotta click it. Welcome. This is my little baby in her bunny suit. I always put her up here because it's just a constant reminder of why I do what I do. It was very different when I didn't have a baby. And if any of you out there are parents, you know how much your life changes once you have your first child. Before it used to be all about you, right? What do I want to satisfy my dreams, and what do I want in my life? What's going to make me happy? And then suddenly you're like, okay, what's going to make her happy? What am I going to do for her future? And your focus completely changes. And if you don't have kids, don't be like, well, I don't have kids. What am I working for? Sometimes I'm jealous, because I'm like, wow, you can do so much with your time. But we all have reasons why we're fighting to get ahead in our success in our business. And it's good to be grounded and have vision on what we want. What does our dream life and our dream career look like? And stay grounded in that, so we can stay focused and focus on succeeding no matter what it takes. Okay. Now, moving ahead, can you see that where it says Q&A on the screen? Okay, you're not supposed to see that. How do I get this off?
Oh, no, I don't see it. I see mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't see yours. I see mine.
Well, how do I get this off the screen? Okay. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Welcome to the webinar world. We have a very small operation here, as you saw. It's Alec and I here that are running this thing. So yeah, this is one of my favorite quotes of all time. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. A lot of us suffer from procrastination and what many experts in many industries say, paralysis by analysis. We're overthinkers. We think so much and we prepare so much to get started on something that we end up pushing it off and procrastinating about it, when what we really need to do to get started is just absolutely start. Find the smallest step we can take and start moving in the direction toward what we want to achieve. So this is a great quote to maybe give you a little kick in the butt and just let you know that if you want to make something happen, you just got to get started. You're not going to be great at first. You're probably going to fail several times, but the more you fail, the more you're going to learn how not to fail, and you're going to fail better, and then you're going to start to succeed. And then once you start to succeed, you're just going to succeed more and more and more. So keep that in mind. Zig Ziglar, love his name. This is a great quote and definitely one of my favorite of all times. Okay. All right. Where are we at? Now, going to the next slide here, we've got my little snapshot of Balayage Online. Just wanted to show this to you because some people don't know about balayageonline.com. We call it the Netflix of balayage and specialty color. Obviously, this is about growth in our business today and how to get clients in our chair so that we can actually perform these types of services on them. Balayageonline.com is the training that I wish I had when I first started doing balayage. I was self-taught with balayage. There wasn't a lot of education on it when I first got started. And I decided, seeing a gap in the industry, that, man, how great would it be to have online education like Netflix available to us whenever we want. If we have a client coming in, we want to try something new, then let me just go in the back room real quickly, pull up my app up and look at a video that I might want to do, get some quick ideas on how to perform an exceptional service, and use that to my advantage. So we've got over, I think, 55 full trainings. We have trainings that come out nearly weekly. Every now and then we skip a week, so apologize for that, but we always make sure that our content is fantastic. So we've got tons of videos on there, hours and hours of education. If you want to check it out, go to balayageonline.com. And right now you can actually sign up for 7 days free. Make sure it's a good fit for you. And then hopefully you'll stick around and be a member. We've got the mastermind and everything around that as well. So that's where you can get some more education for technical training. So who is this training for? Well, to make sure you're in the right place, this webinar is basically designed to help two kinds of people. One, if you're a hairdresser that wants more, or someone just starting to build a brand, right? That you're in the right place for this. A seasoned pro looking to speed up your success. So if you've been in the industry for however long, maybe 20 years, and you're just like, you know what? I'm sick of seeing all of these young, technical savvy stylists get ahead. What do I need to do to start to grow my business and compete in today's ever quickly changing world? So this is a great place for you to be in, because if you believe it or not, I mix old school techniques with new school techniques. So a perfect blend of, okay, how can you combine the best of both worlds to make this happen, to grow my business, to scale my business, and to get the clients that I really want in my chair paying what I want them to pay. You're also in the right place if you're hungry and you're motivated and you're ready to do the work. Hang on one second. There's something in my screen here that's just bugging me. Okay. All right. Back in action. Okay. There was this, people are asking questions and it was popping up right in the middle of my slide. So welcome to my life. Going back to that quote, you don't have to be great to start, but you got to start to be great, right? So here we go. One more webinar under my belt. I've done a lot of these too. And it's like every single time you do this or put on an event, nothing ever goes exactly 100% perfectly, but you have to work with it and you put on a smile and you make the most of it. Laugh at yourself as much as you can. That's what I always say. Okay, you are in the right place if you are frustrated and you're just not sure how to get ahead. Maybe you're frustrated. You don't know how to scale your business. You don't know how to grow your business. You don't know how to get the right customers in your chair. You need a plan, right? And that's what I'm here for. I'm all about helping you to come up with a plan, helping to show you what I've used to get successful. And recently, like in the last 6 years, I've turned my business from, I was bankrupt, and I'm going to get into that, but I was bankrupt and I turned it into a 7-figure business. So it's incredible what is possible in the world of hair, in our industry. And you don't have to be a celebrity stylist to do it. That's what makes me so happy about talking to you. And you might think, well, that's not me. I can't make that much money. Yes, you can. If you put the right things in place and you put your success on autopilot, yes, you can. Now you're in the wrong place. And I feel like this is important to point out as well. If you're looking to get rich quick, there's no secrets in this business. If you want to if you think there's like a secret formula that I'm going to give you, that if you plug it into like a Facebook ad, or if you post something in Craigslist to get clients, that like they're just going to start flooding in, there's nothing out there like that. If anybody tells you that there is, it does not exist. They're lying. They're BSing you. It's going to take work. Success takes hard work. Success, to be super successful is what I call it, not just successful, to be super successful and to create a life by design takes hours and takes working in smart ways. And a lot of us we know like work smarter, not harder, but the truth of it is it's work smarter and harder. So if you're working harder than everybody, it's not enough. You need to also be working smarter than everybody. So if you're looking for something to get rich quick, this is not it. Yeah, you're in the wrong place if you're lazy and not willing to put in the work it takes. Now, when I say lazy, I don't mean procrastinator. Procrastination can sometimes be because you're lazy, but a lot of times it's just because you don't know what to do. you put things off because you want to wait till the right moment, till you figure some things out. So I don't want you to get confused. Well, if you're a procrastinator, if you have that paralysis by analysis, that you're lazy, that you shouldn't be here. No, if you want to make something happen in your life, if you want to reach that point of super success, that doesn't mean you're lazy. You just need a plan. Now, you're in the wrong place if you procrastinate and push important things off. Now, this is different, because if you procrastinate and push important things off that you know you need to get done, and you're not willing to take even the smallest step forward to see if you can start to bring this to fruition, then that's wrong. Okay, who the heck is Ryan Weeden? Now, for those of you that don't know me, can I get a raise of hands for people that don't know me? Cool. This is so cool. I bet a lot of people found me from like Facebook ads or something like that. If you don't follow me or anything on Instagram, I would love for you to do that as well, at ryan.weeden on Instagram. And I always try to deliver value in every single thing I do all the time. That's my goal. My goal is to inspire greatness. And I want to do that with every single one of you if I can, if I had the opportunity, and I do right now in this webinar. So I want to inspire you to be great. And I try to do everything I can in my power to make that happen. So, okay, who is Ryan Weeden for those of you that don't know me? So that's me, smiling usually, being a goofball. I am founder and CEO of Masters of Balayage. If you've ever heard of Masters of Balayage, it's a, what?
So what's that?
Oh, what's that? She's like, what's that? I think I said, stop. Masters of Balayage. Alec is one of our Masters of Balayage educators. She's the director of education, actually. She's a pivotal role in our company, which is great to have her here as well. So Masters of Balayage, we teach technical education. We've expanded to teach coaching and total success. And that's why we're putting on events like Hero as well. I also was the creator of Balayage Online and the Growth Accelerator program. I am a global ambassador for Wella. I'm the author of a book called Sweet Success, How to Make Six Figures in a Salon Suite. And that's where I started to really make a mark from a salon suite. I was booth renting before that. And then I got into a salon suite situation, then opened my own salon. I've always been one to actually grow in a way that I could afford to fail, if that makes sense. I didn't want to take out too many loans because I'm jumping ahead. Okay, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that coming up here quickly, and then we'll get into the training, I promise. There's going to be some good stuff, so just stay tuned. So I also host the Hairpreneur Show podcast. If you don't follow that yet, please go and subscribe so you'll get notified for the new up and coming episodes, which are going to blow your mind. We're going to talk about branding, vision, the 6 levels of success, and just so many different aspects of what it takes to be a successful hair entrepreneur. And if you're on here trying to grow your business, you are an entrepreneur in a sense, because you have to sell yourself. You have to do things to grow your business. And you might say like, oh, I don't want to sell myself. Well, the art of being an entrepreneur in the hair business is basically to learn how to sell yourself without selling, so that we don't come across like that cheesy car salesman that we have that image of that we conjure in our heads. Like, hey, you want to buy this car? I'll throw in the True Coat for you and we'll have a good time. And I'll knock an extra $20 off you. Take it off the lot right now. All right. This big cheesy smile. We don't want to be that person. I don't know any hairstylist that wants to be that person. We want to be the absolute opposite of that person. So right now, I know I haven't updated this. At this point, we had hit 500K in followers. I think we have like almost 550 now, which is pretty cool. I think I have 100 and something myself. We know how to brand ourselves. We know what works, what doesn't work. And yeah, basically this is right where I'm trying to sell you on me, that I know what the heck I'm talking about, right? We've been through a lot, and we've learned how to brand ourselves by learning what not to do and what works. And branding is just so much more than pretty pictures and fancy taglines and things like that. It's about how you talk to your customer, and we're going to be talking about some of that today as well. So who am I? This is me looking out into the ocean, wishing I knew how to surf. And I tried surfing, but I was terrible at it. So this was me in Santa Barbara. I was one of those people that found what I wanted to do in life by learning what I didn't want to do. And I spent a lot of my time searching for meaning. After my dad died when I was 13, I found myself more lost than ever trying to find purpose. So I lived like this very nomadic life after high school, traveling from place to place, working so many different jobs, several different jobs, going to different colleges, constantly starting over, trying to get it right, saying, next time I'm going to figure it out, but I need to start over from scratch. And I was always trying to start over from scratch. When I finally got to my senior year of college, I was a science major. Me, right? This balayage guy, a science major. I realized I hated science. Well, it's something I always knew, but I just thought that that's what I was supposed to do. Go to school and be a doctor. That's what all of our parents pushed us to do back in the 90s. And oh, geez, I just might have aged myself a little bit there. And maybe you're like, what, he looks young. Yeah, Botox. But anyway, moving on. The funny thing is I always wanted to be an actor. Like an actor, I wanted to be in front of people. I wanted to be on stage. I wanted to be, the Brad Pitt guy in Fight Club. That just looked so much fun, right? So, but I was afraid to get up in front of people. Finally, with my senior year graduation looming, I just said, screw it. And I changed my major to dramatic arts. I was a science major, and I'm like, yeah, let's go the acting route. My parents weren't quite so happy about that, but I decided that it was time to start living my life, not theirs. So I got my new degree in acting and I moved to New York City to be an actor. It didn't go so well. I had very little talent. I couldn't dance. I couldn't sing. I couldn't get to many auditions because I had to work about 7 different jobs to pay the rent in New York. That is not a cheap place to live, especially when you're struggling from job to job. And then this happened. This was September 11th. This was my view during September 11th. And it was a complete eye-opener. I realized at that point that I didn't want to live my life leave it to chance, right? Waiting on this big break that I was probably never going to get. I had friends that were in their 40s and 50s at the time, and I was in my early 20s, and they were doing exactly what I was doing. And I just didn't want to be that person. So I decided, like usual, to go back to the drawing board. I left New York shortly after that and moved to Santa Barbara, where I actually graduated college. Now, I still can't remember how the conversation went, but the mother of a girl I was dating at the time somehow convinced me to get into hair. She was a hairdresser herself and found it later in life. She said it was something that she thought I'd be great at, and that since male hairdressers are the minority at that time, and I'd be willing to bet they still are, this would be a great niche for someone like me that was both creative and had this entrepreneurial spirit. So I said, what the heck? Hair school it is. Let's start something else. I liked it right away, man. I walked in. I remember walking in that first day, being toured around through this sea of just beautiful women. There must have been 50 females to 2 males, and I was one of those males. It's like, this is pretty cool. It didn't really do much for my relationship at that time, but but I thought there really could be something to this. I thought, let's see where this takes me. So I went in full force. I said, I'm all in. Let's do this. I graduated school as quickly as I could so I could start making money. I was broke. I needed to make some money and get started right away. And I was excited. I found this great salon and started taking clients, but building a book of business was slow. And this was because all we had was word of mouth. There was no Instagram. There was no social media, no real training on how to take a hairdresser's business to the next level. I was barely making enough money to pay my bills. I was literally paycheck to paycheck. And that is a terrible way to live. It's wow, where you make a payment on something, or you click that Amazon purchase and you're like, oh my God, I better check my account, or you overdraft and you get charged with more money than you have in your account because of the overdraft. That is not a fun way to live. Because of that, I was losing my passion and my drive for something that I had grown to love. After 4 years of hard work, working my butt off to be the best I could, nothing happened. My life did not improve. And that's when something I loved told me, what am I saying here? This is the point where someone I was with later on, 4 years later, that told me that being a hairdresser wasn't good enough, that I wasn't good enough to support her family. And this is from somebody that I loved and trusted. And she told me that you're not good enough for me. She told me that I needed to grow up, that I needed to be a man, that I needed to get a real job. And the sad thing is that it was tough because it hurt hearing that from somebody I loved. and deeply cared about, but I just didn't see the future in hair. I didn't see it turning out any differently. I saw celebrity hairdressers making a ton of money, or probably making a ton of money. I mean, I didn't see their bank accounts, but they looked like they were being super successful. I just didn't see myself doing that. I had done some shoots here and there, and tried to break into that business a little bit, but I didn't see a future for it. And if you're facing that now, you're like, "Ah, okay, well, I've been in the business for 3 years, 7 years, 10 years, 20 years, and I can't get ahead, or I don't know how to get ahead now." Then believe me, I know how you feel. You know what I did? I did something that I can't even believe I did. I quit. I quit doing hair. I said, you know what? I don't see a future in it either. I am going to get a real job. I'm going to man up and and try to find a real job, that real job where I wear a tie every day. And oh my gosh. So I went out after I quit hair and got my first big boy job that I could find, working at this large corporation. It was pretty much like this picture. If you've seen Office Space, yeah, it was like that to a T. Each morning I'd wake up before the sun came up just so I could inch along to work in rush hour traffic, to spend my days stuck in a tiny, maybe 6x6 cubicle, completely blocked off from the world around me. If you've ever seen this movie, you know what it was like. Every single door handle that I would touch in the morning shocked me, was static, and the air smelled like Windex and cake. It was somebody's birthday every single day, with like 60,000 employees in the building. Yeah, it was something like that. Maybe a 12-floor parking garage. There's only 365 days in a year. Yeah, there's pretty certain somebody's birthday was at least every single day, and sometimes the cake would be made out to like 12 people. If you've ever worked in a corporation, you know what I'm talking about. And at the end of every day, as the sun was going down, I'd pack up my bags as quickly as I could so that I could get into my car no matter what floor I'm on, so that I could try to beat the traffic out of there. But I was never early enough. Every time I was trying to leave my desk, somebody would say like, oh, I get an email. You got to complete this. You got to do this. There's more to do. And then you're like, okay. Or you're trying to download something and it's taking too long. You get that little rotating clock on your screen, and just, you can't get out on time. And no matter how early you leave, everybody's leaving before you. That was my life. I was miserable and I was depressed. And soon, because my heart wasn't in it, I was fired. And that was great. No, it wasn't great. Like, I'm like, now what am I going to do? I tried a big boy job. I quit hair. This was me after. Like, yeah, it looks like I'm just having a great time, right? This is, if you've ever seen True Hollywood Story, yeah, this could be me. This could be the picture that pops up. So take a screenshot now and you'd be like, oh, I got a picture of him. And when he's smoking a cigarette and drinking a beer and tank top and frosted tips. Yeah, that's me. So if that wasn't bad enough, being fired, I foolishly spent all my money afterward trying to buy things to make me happy. And this was embarrassing, but I ran out of money. I had to declare bankruptcy. Now, with my bank account completely depleted, I couldn't even afford to rent the cheapest of apartments. One step away from sleeping on the street, my brother, I reached out to him and he kindly took me in. He said, you can stay with me. Like, I'll help you figure it out. Right. So he gave me a place to crash. This was without a doubt one of the hardest times in my life. I was 34, alone, depressed, broke as a joke, bankrupt, recycling cans for money, and relying on my little brother for help. Sadly, this went on for months because I lacked the strength and the motivation to even get out of bed. I was sleeping on a blow-up mattress, and I didn't even want to get out of that. Normally, you're like, I can't wait to wake up and get off of this mattress. I didn't want to get out of bed. I honestly didn't think I could keep living this way. It was at this low point that I met an angel in disguise. He was a mentor of sorts. This guy that I became friends with understood my story because he had been there. He was a little older than me and he had seen his younger self in me. That's when he told me something that would forever change the way that I see the world. He recited an old fable about a Navajo woman who told her grandson a story about how we all have two wolves that live inside of us, constantly battling one another. It starts with the grandmother sitting her grandson down and explaining to him that one of the wolves is jealous, has envy in his soul, is malicious, and has a scarcity mindset. To that wolf, everything in the world is wrong and unpleasant. He believes that people are mostly bad, things are no good, and that the world is a cold place. As you can probably imagine, nothing good ever happens for this wolf because it's a negative, pessimistic animal, always seeing things with these glass half empty eyes. Then the woman says to her grandson, but you also have a different powerful wolf that lies inside of you. This wolf is filled with empathy, love, compassion, positivity, and knows it can accomplish anything it puts its heart and soul into. This wolf sees the bright side of everything and constantly sees things as glass half full. Then she says to her grandson that this wolf, this powerful wolf, can take you to some incredible places. Now that's when, in the part in the story, when the grandson looks at his grandmother with immense curiosity and says, well, Grandma, which wolf wins the battle? She replies, the one you feed, grandson, the one you feed. Man, that story hit me so hard. In fact, I actually got a tattoo of a wolf because it hit me so hard. This is when I realized I had a choice. Do I follow the path of the good wolf or the bad wolf that keeps pulling me down? Well, I'll tell you what, I was over being down on my luck, and this was exactly what I needed to hear. Like when you're having a bad day and you don't even want to get out of bed yourself, and you're scrolling through Instagram and you see one of those memes pop up and it's a positivity meme or something, and it's exactly what you needed to hear. And you're just like, gosh, that's me right now. That is me. This was me. When I heard that, I'm like, this gave me that boost of confidence, that inspiration that I needed. So I brewed this giant, big pot of coffee, the first of many. It was probably a Keurig, to be honest. Keurig. So I pressed that button several times and I created a plan. I decided it was time to get back into the hair industry. Why did I even stop it? Because I loved it so much. But now things were different. Now I had a plan. Now I had a map because my buddy, this mentor of mine, told me his secrets. He told me what he did for success. And I started to make it my own. And I'm like, I can do this. I was inspired to do it myself with what he had taught me. And that's what it's exciting because now I get to teach it to you. Within a year, I had tripled my income. Within 2 years, I was making over 6 figures. Within 3 years, I had doubled my income again after that. And I was making over 250K a year. This is somebody that was recycling cans for money just 3 years ago. And with my own personal growth accelerator success plan, which I call it, just everything was starting to make sense. My success was starting to become automatic because of these new decisions I was making and these new habits I was putting into place and this new system that was working, all because what my mentor had opened my eyes to. Now, people say that money doesn't buy happiness. And you know what? I agree with that completely. But you know what it does? It sure does reduce a lot of worry in my family's life and mine. With the business that we now have that's producing over 7 figures a year, I'm not worried about how I'm going to pay my rent anymore. I'm not worried about watching the minutes on my phone to make sure I don't go over. I'm not concerned with emergency vet appointments when one of my dog eats a tampon. Yeah, that's happened. That has happened, and that is a scary situation. It's funny to talk about it now because the dog's okay, but I don't worry about how much it's going to cost or how many thousands of dollars it's going to take to make my dog vomit to save its life, right? But that's happened. I'm not worried about my baby girl having enough diapers, or if we need to send her to private school because the school district's not that great. I don't worry about that anymore. That is what feels good. And more importantly, it allows me to focus on what's really important in the world. Spending quality time with my family, taking vacations, going out to nice restaurants, wearing comfortable clothes, one-click Amazon purchasing without having to look at my bank account, getting a Starbucks whenever I want. These are just some of the things now that I wanted to do in my earlier self when I was trying to build a business. I was like, oh, how nice would that be? And now being there, it just shifts. It makes life a lot more fun. And I can start to create a life around my schedule, not my client's schedule. And that's the gift I want to help you guys to reach with this different success plan and everything that we're talking about here. Now, when I think back about the time someone told me, this is always something I think about from time to time. When somebody told me that being a hairstylist just isn't good enough, my mind, it flashes to that scene in Good Will Hunting. when Matt Damon's character, this seemingly down and out kid without a future, calls attention to his personal triumph, shouting, "Hey, how you like them apples?" Right? And that awesome Boston accent, right? No longer was it just a hairstylist that could never afford to have a family. So, how do you like them apples? See, that's why I was never a very successful actor. That's my Boston accent. So, but sure, money can't buy you happiness, but most problems in life can be solved by simply writing a check or swiping a card. And once you remove money worries from the equation, you can truly focus on becoming your best self. I tell you all this because I believe in you. You're here today spending some time with me, which is awesome because you know there's more out there for you. And you want to build something bigger than yourself. That's what successful branding and focus and marketing is all about, and being a hairpreneur is all about. If you have strong skills, technical, yes, is important, but if you have business and branding, social media skills, the whole package, you can create an incredible, thriving business. Now, one last thing I have to say about this is that money should never be your focus, only a byproduct of the love and hard work and the value you put into your business and you give back to people that take part in your business. That's the only thing that really makes sense. If you chase the money, you'll never feel satisfied. The money will come because you've created something special. Now that is success to me. Can we get hands up if that's success to you? If you want to be able to give more value to your clients, if you want to create this business that you're proud of, that you can stand behind, that you support wholeheartedly, and you're not selling it anymore because you believe it. You know that it's the way. And that's how I am with my business. I tell you all this stuff and I coach people in a way that I know is going to help them, that I know if they put the work in, it's going to work because it's worked for me and I believe in it wholeheartedly. That's what I want you to feel. I want you to feel this constant inspiration that you know that you can do it, that you believe in yourself. Now, if you don't have a pen and paper or a pad or something to write down on, go grab one now so you can jot down some key points in this training, because we're only going to go over it once. There actually might be a replay, but I have done webinars in the past where it records to the cloud and I want to end up putting a replay up there, but doesn't record. So for safety reasons, write down as many notes as you can. Just scribble furiously as much as you can for all those ahas that you might take away from this, okay? So let us move forward. The expert secrets to fill your books with clients that pay what you deserve. Okay. Now, expert secret, marriage. Marriage is what brings us together today. Princess Bride, for anybody that hasn't seen that. So there are 3 ways to fill your books in 2020 now that we're going to talk about. These 3 ways are this. 1, focus. You need to identify your perfect client. 2, you need to branding. You need to incorporate branding. You need to learn how to attract your PC or your perfect client. And 3, targeting. How are you going to reach your perfect client? So you might be thinking, okay, perfect client. There's a lot of this talk about a perfect client. What is a perfect client? Well, let's talk about that. This is a perfect client. A customer that knows you, likes you, and trusts you, and is willing and able to pay a premium price for top level value that you provide, okay? That is a perfect client. That's somebody that we want in our chair. That's somebody that we're gonna get excited about seeing every single day in our chair. When we look at our schedule and we see maybe we have 7 clients that day. How amazing would that be to know every single one of those 7 clients, or to know they were referred by one of those 7 clients that you love? Wouldn't that be amazing if they're all your perfect customer? Because it's going to be somebody that you know what you're doing, you know how to do it, you know how to deliver your best self, the most value you can, and they're going to pay, they're going to not just pay, they're going to happily pay because you're giving them the best value you possibly could. So identifying your perfect client will inevitably, it's going to save you time, it's going to save you money, and it's going to save you stress. When I first started to get booked like crazy, I was doing online booking and I had this great Yelp reputation. And once things started to go over the tipping point, my phone was blowing up. It was like ding, 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 new client after new client after new client. But the thing that I didn't know, yes, I was excited. I'm like, my books are filling up. I could just see money signs flashing in my head. The problem was I'd go in there and I didn't know what to expect. Every single new client, I might have 7 clients in a day, 6 of those were new. And as excited as I was to start filling my books up, I didn't know what I was walking into. Sometimes it was a trap. Sometimes somebody would be down for a bang trim, and I would say, okay, so we're just going to cut your bangs today. It's great to meet you, blah, blah, of course, after the consultation. But yeah, during the consultation, I would say, so how do you want your bangs cut? Oh, no, I don't need my bangs cut. I need to, I want to get a full highlight. I want to add some blonde and some depth in it. I'm like, well, you're on the schedule for a bang trim. It's like 10 minutes. She's like, oh, well, that's all that was available for the online booking. So that's when I said, okay, no more online booking. So that's when I made it an effort to start working on focusing on my perfect client, because that was not my perfect client. My perfect client they come in for balayage. They come in for things that I know that I can deliver the best of the best. And they're people that value what I do, and they're just very respectful people that value time, money, and stress. Okay, moving on. It will also make you more money and grow your business exponentially. These are perfect clients. Now, in order to identify your perfect client, there are some things you need to do. First, you need to name your perfect client. So I'm going to talk about that here in a second. What do they want and what do they desire most? This is how you identify your perfect client. You might be thinking, okay, who is my perfect client? I love everybody. Do you? We all know that there are people on your books that you want to avoid like the plague. You can't get far enough away from them sometimes. We want to fill our books and our businesses with people we love to see, that know us, like us, and trust us. So you want to name your perfect client. And using myself as an example, and I'm going to talk about this as we move forward here, I have a couple of different perfect clients. And one of them, right now, I'm talking about on the business side of things, not clients in my salon, but it depends on what we're doing and what our goal is with our business. And right now, my business is I'm growing my coaching business. So one of my perfect clients is called the Hustler. Another one's called the Frustrated Independent. And I'll go into more depth on what that really means. So that's what I mean by names, like giving them something that you can think of, that's what I'm going to call them. So that way, oh, I know who I'm speaking to. So what do they want? What do they desire most? What are their core values? What do they believe in? Describe your perfect client's biggest challenges. What are they facing right now in their life? Also, what are their pain points? What are they struggling with right now? What is their work experience and level of education? Take some time, sit down with yourself, put some noise canceling headphones on, tune the world out, and answer these questions. How much money do they make? What's their age range? Maybe they have a specific age. Maybe you're going for 25 to 35-year-olds. What is their sex? What demographic are they in? Now, I'm going to give you some examples. So you might be like, okay, those are great questions, but can you give me an example? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do right now. This is the Hustler. Oh, you need paper? Pull that thing out. Yeah, just use the pad right there. Alec needs paper. Okay, she's hustling behind me right now. Okay, so the Hustler. The Hustler is in the Frustrated Independent. These are examples. Now, the Hustler, this is what I call the young Ryan. This is somebody that I really want to reach, somebody that wants a plan, that wants a coach to show the way. And you might be looking at some of these and be like, oh, that's me. And if that's you, that's also how you know you're in the right place. If you're one of these perfect clients, that would mean like you and I are a perfect match together for training and everything. So the goals of this young Ryan, this Hustler, wants to do big things, wants to be some part of something bigger, to live independently of life's financial worries, to change people's perceptions of what's possible. Values of the Hustler might be, they value hard work, value education, they're honest, driven, persistent, they're risk takers, willing to make big changes and wants results fast. Now I could even go in further, and I have in a notebook on what the Hustler means to me and where they live, what their age range is. And I answered all those questions that I posed earlier. My other ideal client, this is still the Hustler here. Challenges that the Hustler faces, or this young Ryan, is unsure maybe what to do, doesn't have a plan, is inspired but doesn't know where to go or how to do it. And that was me when I look back. I think about what I was struggling with. I needed a plan. I needed a mentor to say, do this. Like, I can see this inspiration in you, but you need a plan. Scheduling priorities is a challenge. If you have an issue scheduling priorities and maximizing your time and staying focused maybe you're financially limited. Maybe you're living paycheck to paycheck right now and you don't have a lot of money to spend. These are current challenges that this particular perfect customer for me is facing. Pain points, naysayers, people telling you you're not good enough or you can't do this. Or maybe you only have so much time. Maybe you have a family. Maybe you have dogs. Maybe you have all these other responsibilities that are taking up your time. So you have limited space each day. Maybe you work 12 to 15 hours a day. So you got to sleep somewhere in there, and you have a family. Maybe you only have 15 minutes to 45 minutes a day to actually get anything done, but you want to do everything. These are the pain points, right? Work experience, young and hungry, some experience to expert experience. Doesn't have to be a pro at anything, right? Just maybe a little bit of experience to a wide range of experience. Let's put it that way, but has an entrepreneurial mindset. This is my perfect customer for the hustler, the young Ryan version. Now let's move into the second perfect customer that I have. And it says ICA here, which is a marketing way of talking about ideal client avatar. What is this? 5 minutes for what? Holy heck, I've been talking for a long time. Okay. She just gave me this thing and said 5 minutes. That's why she needed the pad. Guys, if you can hang out with me for a little bit longer, oh my gosh, you were amazing. I got a lot of love to give, and I got a lot more love to give. So bear with me here, okay? Oh, wow, I told you I can just talk and talk and talk. So the goal is wants to live a more comfortable life on their schedule, more freedom, more fun, creating more purpose-driven life. Values. Are you guys okay staying on a little bit longer for another maybe 25 minutes? Can I get some hands up here? And if you guys are liking what you're hearing, obviously if you're not liking what you're hearing, you're probably just gonna to tune out. So this is very, very cool. Thank you guys. Love the hands, love the excitement and the enthusiasm. Whew, let's keep moving on. Okay. So goals of this frustrated independent, we've got wants more freedom, has more fun creating, a more purpose-driven life. Yeah, I just repeated that again. This is why it takes so long. Values, honest enough. When I say honest enough, I mean like somebody that might, if they have an opportunity, button someone in front of somebody at line to get to the front of the DMV faster. Like a lot of us have done that, right? Family values, has strong family values, is maybe bored, tired, uninspired, willing to make small changes, wants to see some results, and appreciates quality time. Challenges, unsure what to do, has no plan, needs more confidence, self-esteem, and maybe a stronger mindset, financial stress, time constraints. These are all challenges of this frustrated independent, my perfect client. Pain points, frustrated watching younger, more media savvy stylists move ahead with less skill. Anybody feel that one? Clients rule their life. Oh, that's a big one, right? Clients ruling their life. There's no business or personal separation, lack of quality time. You might even, if you're on this webinar and you're like, well, I'm both of these, that is a potential possibility. You might be experiencing part of both of these different types of perfect client, these PC. Work experience and seasoned. This is somebody that's been in the game a long time and is like, I need to get ahead. I'm getting a little older and maybe I'm getting a little slower around the salon. I know I was. Maybe your back hurts a little bit more. So you're like, okay, I need a plan. Let's figure out how to move forward. Okay, the next step, we're into branding. How do you attract your perfect client? Attracting. Have you ever heard the phrase, the riches are in the niches? This is where you start to hone in on your perfect client. Like you have your perfect client, you spend some time at this point, maybe not today, but you're gonna go home, you're gonna take some, I would call it Ryan time, but whatever your name is, if your name's Linda, you're gonna take some Linda time. You're gonna put those headphones on, you're gonna maybe take an hour and start to go through these questions and these ideas that I'm putting forth here. So after you've identified your ideal client, your perfect customer, your perfect client, then, and don't come up with more than two. Try to find one perfect client. Don't come up with like, oh, I've got 7 different perfect clients. No, you need 1, 2 max. Otherwise you're gonna get too complex and it's going to get a little tricky on how to move ahead and grow your business because you need to stay simple, right? After you do that, we need to start attracting that perfect client. So the way you do that is you find a niche, and some of you might already have a niche, but we're going to talk about that now. So examples of a niche. These are niche businesses. You might be like, Amazon is a niche business. Well, okay, let me dive into that. Amazon, God, Amazon, we love it and we hate it, right? We hate it because it's killing all the brick and mortar stores, but we love it because we can get anything we want in like what, a day and a half, 2 days, sometimes same day. Amazon is still a niche business. When they first started, first of all, they were a bookstore. That's all they did. Their entire focus was selling books. They made bookstores completely obsolete. You go on a book, you go on Amazon, you get a book, right? Then they decided to, well, you know what? Let's sell everything. So is it still a niche business? Well, can you go to Amazon down the road and get an oil change? No. Can you go get a haircut from Amazon? No. They're still in the niche business. They're in the, we sell everything and we can have it to you in like 2 days or less. That is still a pretty good niche business. They don't have any competitors. They have created their own niche. Amazon is a global leader in the niche business. Lululemon, another one. They started out with yoga pants. Did everybody that wore them do yoga? No. but they started with yoga pants, and then they started to branch out, and they're doing men's wear and everything like that. But they started growing as a niche business. Every pair of yoga pants you saw was probably Lululemon for years, and it still is. It's still just something. They've really honed in on that perfect niche business, and then they've expanded from there. But they started as a niche. Apple is another one, and they continue to be a niche business. They became a big business early on. Well, they started as a very small business against the PC world and against Hewlett Packard and Microsoft and everything. All those were computers, and they were trying to make, Microsoft was trying to make the biggest, fastest computer. Apple was like, you know what? We're going to try something a little differently. We're going to try to focus on an actual perfect customer. And their perfect customer was somebody that wanted to have a little bit more style with what they were doing. They were okay with having a slightly slower experience for an ease of it and for a comfortable feel with pretty colors and Apple and iPhone. And now we don't even say like, oh, pull out your Droid and do this. It's like, you might have a great Droid phone, but we're all about Apple iPhones. How many people have an Apple phone right now that are on this? Some of you are probably watching it from an Apple, right? They have dominated the market. I was gonna say the iPhone market. See, even my speech, they've dominated that market. These are examples of what they're huge businesses now, but they're niche businesses. And you might not be Amazon or Lululemon or Apple, but you don't need to be. I have a very small business and it's doing over 7 figures, and I'm not completely stressed out all the time. It's great. I don't have to worry about having all these backstock of Apple iPhones and everything like that. You can do that with your business too by focusing on a niche. So how do you find your niche? You might have heard, yes, people tell me I need to specialize, I need to do this, but I love doing everything. I bet you don't love doing everything. I bet there are certain people that you would rather have in your chair than others. I bet you, for me, for instance, I wanted blonde women in my chair because I was very good at blondes. I was a blonde specialist. That was my niche. And I found it because I went through the effort of deciding who my perfect customer was when I was fully behind the chair. And I wanted, blonde was my thing. Balayage was my thing. My perfect customer was somebody that wanted to go lighter, but have that lived in look. That was my perfect customer. That was my niche. Maybe brunettes are yours. Maybe, well, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Finding a niche or specialty. First thing you got to do is decide what you love the most. And I don't mean like, I love flowers. I love lamp. Like we need to think of something in the career business, in the area that you're working in now. And I assume most of you that are watching this are hairstylists. So in your day-to-day, what is one of the services that you love to do the most? Now, this does not mean that you have to stop doing other things because you have to pay the bills. Still do it, what you need to do, but what we need to do is start marketing our branding and marketing our target market toward this perfect customer, because what we're going to be doing is the more we can reach them, and we're getting into reach here in the next section, the better we can reach them, the more we'll get them in our chair. And sooner than later, we're not going to have any of these negative Nancys. And I'm sorry if your name is Nancy. Anybody raise your hand if your name's Nancy? Sorry. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, we want to make sure that we are focused on what we're best at. And I would rather be an absolute expert at one thing than pretty good at 99, right? You could still be pretty good at a lot of other things, but you need to start specializing in something that you love the most. So the next thing is, once you figure out, okay, this is what I love to do the most in my career. Next thing to do, narrow your focus on something specific, right? Okay, so you love doing balayage. Okay, what's funny now is balayage isn't so much of a niche anymore. It's more becoming a standard practice where it's just another way to highlight. Thankfully, balayage is become more of a category now where there are subcategories under that. And you know what the subcategories can be classified as? They can be classified as niches. So a niche maybe under the balayage category could be teasing balayage. It could be, that's my specialty. I'm a teasing balayage expert. It could be air touch balayage. It could be baby light balayage. There's so many different aspects. It could be wet balayage. So many different aspects to breaking it down to something very, very specific. The more specific you are, the better you can target your perfect client. The next thing you want to do is determine market viability. Is there enough need? So you don't want to choose something so specific that nobody in the world actually wants it, right? Or actually is getting it and they won't pay for it. If it's something that nobody's going to pay for, there's not enough of a need, because it's all about supply and demand. If there's no demand for it, then you're not going to have you're not going to have a sustainable business. So you need to think about, is this something that I can make money doing? Don't worry about making a lot of money, but it's something I can make money doing, because you can build the demand from there. Are people paying for it now, or can you monetize it? When balayage first started, there weren't many people doing it, but there was a need for it. There was a need for people that needed to be really good at it, because the trend was lived in hair, but there weren't many people doing it very well. So yes, there was a need for it. People were starting to pay for it, but you could monetize it more. It is something that you could start to turn around and amplify the value there by becoming very good at it. And you're starting to create your own niche within the niche by being a specialist. Examples: dry haircuts. Not just haircuts, dry haircuts. If you're an expert in that, that could be a niche. Curly hair balayage. There's not a lot of that right now. If you are an expert, what?
Someone says they specialize in curls.
Curls. Curly hair is so cool. It's so hard. It's not my specialty. I kind of wish it was, because it's something that it's outside of my box of expertise. I just don't have enough curly hair clients. But if you do curly hair and you're really good at balayage, or you're really good just in curly hair haircuts in general, that's still a niche, because there's so much demand for people that are really good at it. So that could be a great niche for you. Air touch highlights. We might see this trend taking over the airwaves now all over social media. And there's only a few people that are out there that are doing it really well. So if it's something that you want to get involved in, I say go for it. There is a booming market for it, and the results are freaking stunning. So that could be a great niche for you. Pixie cuts. If cutting is your thing, if color is not your thing, short haircuts could be something very specific, but there's a lot of women out there with short hair, and you could make a lot of money by being very good at it. Hand tied extensions. And you notice how we don't say just hair extensions, because there's so many hair extension experts out there. But if you break that down even further, and you're like, I want to be a master at tape-in extensions, or I want to be a master at hand-tied extensions, or other types of extensions that I don't even know about, because I don't really do that many extensions, that could be your niche. And that's where you need to start focusing your attention on with your branding. Now, how to attract your niche. Niche branding. Oh, that came out all at once. Okay. First thing is focus your branding. So you're going to start to think about your branding with your perfect client in mind and with your niche in mind. So for me, if I have this hustler version of my perfect client, or the frustrated independent, and I have a particular course that I'm offering, or something that I'm trying to get them to respond to, I'm going to do it in a niche facet. I'm not totally teaching like, okay, how to just be successful in life, right? That's pretty broad. But because I know that my niche is hair and success in hair, that is who I'm focusing on with my branding. That's why you're here today, because you saw something in the advertisement that you responded to, that you're like, oh, okay, this might be something that I could use in my business. And I hope that you are getting a lot out of this today. So focus your branding on your niche with your perfect clientele and your perfect customer in mind. So target your niche customer that way. 3, position yourself as an expert. Now, to become an expert or to become a specialist, you don't have to be the best in the world, but you have to be better than the people that are sitting in your chair, right? You have to be better than average. You have to know what you're doing so that you feel confident in what you're about to, the service you're about to provide. You don't have to be the best, for me, balayage expert in the world. I'm pretty darn good, but I know there are people out there that are better than me, and that's fine. I have my own position in my life, but with my branding, I can still position myself as balayage expert. Or if you don't feel comfortable using the word expert, you can say specialist, balayage specialist, curly hair specialist. Because if you are a specialist in something, that means that you focus a lot of your time and a lot of your energy on that particular niche topic. And you know what? That makes you a specialist. Don't overthink it. You are a specialist in your own right. And now you need to start positioning yourself as an expert. The way you do that to attract your perfect customer, your perfect client, is to blast it with a consistent experience through social media, from your Instagram page to your website to your email header, wherever, to your business card. You need to put on there somewhere that you need to address that you're an expert or a specialist in that category. So for instance, my business card would say, it did say blonde expert, balayage specialist, something in that area. If you're a curly hair specialist, then you say curly hair specialist, curly hair balayage specialist. That's who you're trying to attract. And you know what, you can still have another card if you're trying to build your business for, I'm just a hairstylist for other people as well. But this isn't about that. This is about trying to fill your books with people that you want to work on, that you want in your chair, that are going to help to grow your business and your success as a hairstylist. So blast it, put it everywhere. Make sure that you go from your Instagram page, your website, to your email header, to anything on social, to your Facebook page, and that everybody that sees that is going to know, oh, that's the curly hair expert. That's the curly hair specialist. But that way, when somebody comes across your page and they happen to have curly hair, they would probably rather go to you or check you out first before they check out somebody that just says hairstylist. Targeting, reaching your perfect client. Okay, you need to target a specific audience, and that is your perfect client, your niche specialty. So you're going to use your specialty niche focus to do just that. The next thing you got to do is locate your market. Where is your perfect client hanging out? Are there places online that they're hanging out? Are they in certain Facebook groups that you can become part of that group and start to become a member of that group? You don't want to just go in there and start selling, but maybe it's this great group of people that are your potential client, your niche focus, and you can start to become a member of that and start to offer advice. You always want to offer more value than anything else. And then after some time, they'll start to see you as an expert. And then they might actually, what they'll do is they'll reach out to you. Oh, are you taking clients? Oh yeah, funny you ask. Yes, I am. Okay, so look at your market. Maybe your market is, for me, I was a blonde expert, as I've said several times now, and I was in a fraternity and I know the Greek system really well when I was in college. And because of that, I know how sororities operate. And it was kind of funny how I use this to my advantage, where I knew that certain sororities were known for certain things. And some of those things weren't always the best things or the nicest things, but there was always one sorority that was like, oh, that's where all the blonde girls go. And I swear, from campus to campus, there is always one sorority that has this just insane number of blonde girls or blonde women. Or you call them women in college? Like, I'm just trying to be PC here. But so I went to all the colleges around where I was starting my business and getting back into hair. And I found the blonde sorority. It's not hard work to find out how to do some research on that. And what I also found out, which was great too, that they were very social on social media. And so I'm like, okay, that is a market I need to attack. I need to try to get in there and take people, try to get them as models, maybe for some of my Instagrammable work or whatever I was going to be doing to try to locate, to try to make them part of my client roster. Because I know that if I get them to come to me, if I get one of them to come to me, they're going to refer two of their friends, and then two of their friends are going to post it to their tens of thousands of followers, and it's just going to grow that way, right? So I had this thing, it was called Rush to the Salon, and I went in there. I was going to say attack them. I'm like, I didn't attack them. but I attacked the marketing on that right before their rush week, when they all have to get beautified so that they can put on their best selves to try to attract people into their sorority. So that was one of my focuses. So you need to think about, where is your market? Where is your perfect client hanging out, right? And that's where you need to start thinking about, how am I going to reach them in that particular market? Research your niche competition. Now, if you are a curly hair specialist, if you're a balayage expert or specialist, if you are a pixie cut specialist, I assume you're here because you're trying to grow your business and your audience in your local area, in your city. So you need to look around, okay, who is my competition in this area? And not just salons in the area, not just hairstylists in the area, but your niche competition. Who is doing exactly what I'm doing, and how do I compare with them when I go to their social pages? What can I do to be better than them? What can I do to be more approachable than them? What can I do to be that person? If I was a guest looking between this other person and myself, what is something that I could do to stand out more and get them in my chair before they decide to go with somebody else? Research your niche competition to get ideas on what you could do better. Then you need to start developing your brand voice. And this is going to be how you speak to your audience. At this point, we know our ideal client really well, our perfect customer really well, because we've spent some time to figure it out. We know our niche and what our ideal client wants within that niche. Now we need to know how to talk to them. Stylists will talk to each other within stylist groups and from stylist to stylist in a more technical form with more jargon, right? You're talking about levels, and you're talking about numbers, and that's how we relate. If we try to take that particular voice and we talk to our clients like that, they're going to be lost, except for that one that learned hair for a semester in school or something like that. But most of them are going to be like, I don't know what the 6 means, or I don't know what TZ lights are. So you want to develop your brand light. And I'm going to use balayage as an example because I know it very well. So we're going to talk about, lived in, beachy look, beach inspired look, sun kissed. We're going to start to find these catchy words that are going to get our ideal clients really inspired to come see us. We want to paint a picture for them with our brand voice of why they should come to us, why they should trust us. You want to always send a clear and consistent message. You want to unify your branding across all platforms, and we just talked about that. From Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, wherever you are talking to people, your outward-facing persona through these social media platforms, you want to make sure that your branding looks the same colors, same styles, same kinds of photos, same kinds of copy. And copy is the words you use, so your brand voice. If you say curly hair specialist on one, you don't want to say pixie haircut specialist on another, balayage expert on another page, because then people are going to like, what the heck does this person do? Why are they just trying to get everybody? I don't trust that person. I don't trust what they're trying to sell me. You want to be a welcomed regular, which means you want to treat your supporters the same way as well. What you want to do by being a welcomed regular is you want to engage. You want to, if somebody reaches out to you, you want to make sure you reach out back to them. We want to be social, whether it's in real life or social media. We want people to see us regularly, even our clients that are currently coming to us. If you put together maybe a monthly newsletter that they get used to seeing, that maybe you sneak in there somewhere. If you know anybody else like you that you could send my way, I would greatly appreciate it, to get referrals that way. So be a welcome regular so that they see your email pop up or they see your text pop up and they're like, oh, I love my stylist. What does she have to say, or what does he have to say today? Guerrilla marketing. Now, this is how we fill our books. New clients, I call it the expert approach. And this is a way, guerrilla marketing is, okay, how do we do this in person? This is old school strategy here stuff. So this is stuff that's going to be a little bit outside of your comfort zone. The expert approach, and I talk about this in my book, is very simple. It takes some courage, but it's very simple. Okay, let's imagine that I'm walking down the street and I'm at Starbucks, in line at Starbucks, and Starbucks rules kind of our life. We know that. You're at a coffee shop or something and you see somebody ordering, or you see somebody sitting down that just has dream hair. Somebody that looks like your perfect ideal client. You just, oh, I wish I could have her in my chair. Or I wish I could have him in my chair. That would just make my life. If all my clients were like her, I wish that I could get them in my chair. How would I do that? This is how you do that. What you're going to do is you're going to create a business card. If you have a business card, great. But you're going to update your business card, and you're going to do two things. One, you're going to put a happy smiling picture of yourself on it. Nothing cheesy, nothing like those real estate photos with arms crossed and you look very unapproachable, like cheesy car salesman type. I used to be in the real estate business and I had one of those photos. That's why I can make fun of it because I had one. It was so silly. So you want to have a smiling picture of yourself on the cover somewhere, something that like it'll be hard for them to throw away. Okay. And then you're also going to put your niche on there, your specialty focus. So for me, it was blonde specialist. So I had a picture of me on it and I was smiling and it said Ryan Weeden, blonde specialist. And of course my contact information and my website link and my Instagram handle, etc. So at that point I would walk up to a stranger, and yes, it was awkward at sometimes, but you got to do it. This is what it's all about. If you want to take it to the next level, you say, excuse me, hi, I just wanted to say, I absolutely love your hair. And if there's anything I can ever do for you, please let me know. That's when I hand the card and I say, have a great day. And I walk away. I don't even really give them a chance to respond. If they respond, great. But I don't want to start a conversation. I don't want to get in the way of that person's life. I don't want to be the awkward guy that's like, hey, so what do you, yeah, you get your hair done around here? Cool, right? Yeah, I'm a hairstylist. So yeah, I could do some stuff with your hair. How about, have you ever thought, you don't want to get into all that. We just want to keep this short, sweet, get it done. I would hand the card to them and walk away smiling, right? It doesn't take a lot of effort to do that. It does it first, but you just got to start doing it. What happens after that is, that's where the magic happens, right? So this person, first you gave them a great compliment, like you've got amazing hair. They're thinking, wow, I feel great today. Somebody came up to me out of the blue. Nobody ever does that anymore, right? Unless they're trying to get a date or something. And they said, I love my hair. Let me look at this card. I've already walked away by this point. Look at the card. Ooh, that's a nice picture of him or her. And oh, blonde specialist, not just hairstylist, right? Blonde specialist. And then they start to think, even if they have a hairdresser that they love, this might be enough to make them think, blonde specialist. Mine's just a hairstylist. What does a blonde specialist do? Let me just look a little bit further. Let me check this guy out. So then I would go on Instagram and then go on my website, and they would see this consistent experience and this specialty focus every step of the way. And you know what? I would get calls and I would get people coming in. I want to come in with the blonde specialist. I want to come in for a consultation, like a free consultation. You just start to get this energy created around it. And you know what? You start to walk up to more and more people. And before you know it, you don't even think about it. And what I was doing, and as I was trying to make a list of, I'm going to go talk to 10 people every single day. When I don't have a client in my chair, I'm going to walk out of the salon and I'm going to go talk to 10 people and just do this quick. I could do it in a half an hour or less, right? It was amazing. And I started to get an influx of new clients, not just any clients, my perfect clients. And you know what they did after they left the salon when they were totally stoked from their hair? They referred their friends, and it started to go from there. That was a great way to get new clients with this guerrilla marketing technique. Another way with current clients is to do what I call the Starbucks referral strategy. You go to Starbucks, you get like 200 Starbucks cards for $5. Well, maybe not that many. That's a lot of money at first. Okay, maybe like 20 or 50 or something like that. I don't know how big your client list is, but think about it like this. List all of your favorite clients. The clients that you love that don't just pay a lot of money, but the ones that you look at the schedule and you're just like excited that they're going to be sharing your time today, that you're going to be working on today. So there might only be 10, there might only be 15. Go get that many Starbucks cards. And what you're going to do is when you have them in your salon next and in your chair, you're going to go up to them and you're going to say, I just want you to know that you are like my absolute favorite client. You're one of my favorite clients, and you have to be genuine. You don't want to lie about this. Like, I love having you in my salon. You are one of my favorite clients of all time. Here's a gift. Have a coffee on me. And then you give them the $5. They're going to be like, oh, wow, that's really nice of you. And they're not used to stylists giving them money. They're used to giving their stylist money. So you give them a $5 referral or card, right? And then what you're going to be doing, and then after that you say, by the way, who do you know like you, that's awesome like you, that you could refer to me that might need my services? Because this awesome client loves you. There's somebody that absolutely loves you. And this is just a great way to ask them, who do they know like them? Not, do you know anybody? Hey, by the way, do you know anybody? Or hey, if you ever know anybody that's looking for a good stylist, let me know. They, oh yeah, sure, okay, I'll think about it. They're not gonna think about it. But if you say it in this exact way, who do you know like you that could use somebody like me? Because they're in your chair. They don't know you need business. They don't know you have a need for more clients. They don't know that you want more people like her. So what they're gonna do when they hear, who do you know like you that could use somebody like me? they're going to think about it for a minute. They're going to be like, oh, wait, I can't just list anybody. I got to think about, like, I'm actually thinking about this now. Who's my perfect friend that's not going to embarrass me if I send her to him, that's going to represent me well? Then they're going to put one of their best friends forward that's just like them, because not only, again, they're getting a compliment and you gave them a Starbucks coffee a card. Who doesn't like a $5 coffee, right? You're going to be amazed at how many referrals you get just from that. And you might just get one at a time, but that's better than none at a time, right? You're not asking, hey, if you ever know anybody, yeah, okay, I'll think about it. Or you're not just saying, by the way, if you know anybody to help fill my books, blah, blah, blah. You're saying, who do you know like you? Because you are like my favorite client. If my full day could be filled with people like you, that is how you start to get new clients, your perfect client, in the door. You guys like that? Hands up if you like those strategies. Those two strategies right there are two ways, and I have tons more, but we only have a short amount of time here, but those are two of my favorite ways to get new clients in the door and start to put my schedule together with perfect clients. I always ask too, whenever I'm doing this, how can we make this better? How can we make the service better? Okay, guys, we're getting to the end of this. You probably already guessed it by now, but my big announcement is this. Recently, we did something fun, and I released what I call the Growth Accelerator program. And what I just gave you was a snapshot of a little bit of it. We talk about the 6 levels of success. And to have a successful business, you have to have all of these things figured out and all these things mastered. And I help you do that in 6 weeks. And it starts with vision. You have to know why you're doing what you're doing, and ground yourself, and to be inspired all the time and motivated all the time so that you can do everything else. If you just focus on the marketing or you just focus on social media, you're not going to have enough to have success on autopilot. And that's what I want to do for you. We're going to go through each week 6 levels of success. And here's the Growth Accelerator Business and Branding Bootcamp. If you want to grow your business in 6 weeks, if you want to see incredible results in 6 weeks, you got to join me for this Business and Branding Bootcamp. We just ended our first bootcamp. I only release this every now and then. We just ended ours a couple weeks ago, and we're going to be starting another one on Monday. If you miss it from Monday, we're not going to do it again, probably for, I don't know, however long. I like to have a little bit of gap in between. So this is what it's all about. It starts January 27th, 6-week Business and Branding Bootcamp. You guys get to hang out with me. We've got video training. This is what you're going to learn. You're going to learn how to be inspired all the time, how to create a brand your clients will love, will know, and will trust. Fill your chair with clients that you want, like we talked about today. Strategies to charge more and work less. Talk about apps, social media, things to get it, how to move ahead in social media. There's so many facets to it. It's different steps to build a strong web presence in less than 24 hours. Guys, if you don't even have a website, we got to get started. We got to get cracking on this. I'm going to show you how to build not only just a website, but a strong web presence in less than 24 hours, a website in less than 24 hours that's going to impress your clients. Also, how to get clear on what you really want. How many of you can say in a sentence what you really want in life? So that way you can move faster toward your goals. If you know where you want to go and how to get there and you're very clear on it, you can get there so much faster. Also, how to automate your success even on your bad days. Even on my bad days, my business is still moving forward because I know what I need to get done, even on my worst days. How to set yourself up for success every single day with the Millionaire Morning. And I'm going to teach you what I do in the morning to get inspired, to stay inspired, to get my day focused so that we can crush it every single day moving forward. You're also going to get the 6 weeks of boot camp, what I talked about. It's going to jumpstart your success in business, branding, social media, and marketing for all levels. Even if you're just starting out, you might even be a commissioned stylist, but you want to have your own business within your salon. And I know some salon owners will allow you to do that. But this is, if you need to start making your own presence, you need to start building your own brand, this is how you do it. You can't just be the best technician on the planet. Like it takes more than just being great at balayage. It takes more than just being a great hair cutter. You need to learn all the different 6 levels of success to move ahead. If you want to make anywhere above 6 figures, if you want to make high 6 figures, if you want to make 7 figures, that is what it's going to take. Also, I'm going to teach you how to stay busy and consistent after the holidays and up until the holidays. And you guys are starting so early now that if you take this business boot camp, by the time holidays come around, I bet you guys are gonna be taking freaking vacations. That is my goal for you. You're gonna watch everybody else falling over like, oh God, I gotta work my butt off because I know January is gonna be slow. But when the time comes in December, you're just sitting back in your chair, you're enjoying a glass of wine because you know your January is already booked up. That's where I want you to be. You're gonna learn to schedule your clients around your life, not theirs. You're gonna learn how and when to raise your prices, how to create a wait list, all of these great tools on how to succeed. Oh, bonuses. There's always bonuses. I love giving away bonuses. Bonus gift number 1. I'm gonna give you a copy of my 6-figure ebook, How to Massively Grow Your Salon Business, whether you're a solo or a salon owner. If you already have it, let me know and I'll send you a signed copy of my book. If you know what, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send you a signed copy of my book if you join today, all right? And I'll also give you the digital version as well. I'm also gonna give you, number 2, the most watched video tutorials of our Balayage Online. If you're new to Balayage Online, you can check it out this way. These are our top 5 most watched videos. We've got a consultation video. What do we have on here? I can't remember. There's so many great videos, and I'm gonna give you the top 5 that people watch. Bonus number 3, oh, did I mention you get live coaching calls? Kind of like this, right? We're gonna be chatting here, not with a group of 150 people, but we do small group coaching where you guys, it's all face-to-face. We do it through Zoom like this, but you guys interact with me as I interact with you. We go through the trainings. We bring up different points on the training and what you're currently facing so that we can really work together to get you to success. And that's what this is all about. It's a $1,200 value. There's also a mobile app, and this is what makes our training experience so much better. If you're already part of balayageonline.com, you already know this. You can just click on the app, you can go watch the videos. It is the coolest thing. Like this would be one of the first lessons, understanding vision. And we talk about how we get this deeper vision of what we want in life and moving forward that way. That's the first level of success there. And that's what you're gonna see right away. On-demand video training 24/7.
Ryan, how long are the coaching sessions?
The coaching sessions, we normally do it for about an hour, but they can be, honestly, I'll stand for 2 hours. I'll stand until your burning questions are answered. That's the gift I like to give, because I know how hard it is if you're like, I got a question, your hand's raised, and they never get to you, right? That sucks. I want you guys to succeed. I want you to be my success story. So I will stay on as long as it takes to answer your burning questions. And then I'm also going to be available afterward. And you can see here on this slide, you're going to have premier access to a private coaching community where if it's just like a quick question or you have a question after our live coaching, what's going to happen after that is you can go into the coaching section. You'd be like, oh, hey, Ryan, I had a question about this, or I'm in lesson 4 right now. How do I go about, what's the best way to brand myself on Instagram? Does this sound good? Take a look at my website. What do you think about this? What would you change? This is what we can do either in the live coaching calls or in the private coaching community.
Another question about the boot camp?
Okay, hold on with that right now. I got some more questions here. I'm going to answer them in just a second. We're just finishing up here and then we'll get to the Q&A. So the total value of this 6-week program is $1,400. That's the value you're getting. That's not what I'm going to charge you, because I want you guys to be successful. And eventually, yes, I do want you paying me over that because I know this is super valuable, but I want you to get started. I want to see you guys succeed. I want you guys to be raving fans of what we do here. And honestly, what the coolest thing would be if you become so successful that I'm taking a course from you, that you're teaching me, hey, Ryan, you old fart, like this is what you need to do. This is how you can take your business to the next level. I think that would be the coolest thing. So the total value you're getting for this boot camp is $1,400, the coaching calls and the book and everything like that. For this webinar special only, I am going to give it to you for 80% off. Yeah, I know, hairstylist and math, right? What is it? I had to do it too. I had to like get the calculator out and figure it out. What that comes out to, $305. That's 80%. And yes, the $5, I wanted to make sure it was 80% exactly. So, or pretty damn close to 80%. So $305, and you get all the bonuses and freebies if you act soon. So guys, I want you to join me on this journey. It is the coolest thing. We've had so many success stories from recent times and from our recent class. And I even got this message early from somebody I taught last year. she said, and this was I wish I had it in front of me here. She sent me a DM saying that, Ryan, I just wanted to thank you. I hadn't spoken to her in a very long time. And she said, because I did exactly what you said, and it took my business, I was making $40,000 a year. And in less than a year, I went to making over 100K in 1 year. And I'm like, I can't reshare this, or I can't post this because it sounds like I made this up. But I was blushing and I was like, this is incredible. I can't believe this has happened. Can you imagine making an extra $60,000 in 1 year? Like just giving yourself a raise by taking different actions and focus on what you're doing. And to know that I had a part in that, I'm like, oh man, if I can do that for each and every one of you, that would make my freaking day. And I want that to happen to you so I can put you on a pedestal and I can say, this is my hero. This person did it. They've made it successful. They are shaking up this industry to show other hairstylists that you're not just a hairstylist, that you can be whatever you want to be. You can make as much money as you want to make. You just have to start thinking and working a little bit differently. Now, I think at the end of this, if it works correctly, it's going to go, you guys can enroll right away, but enrollment does end Friday at 4 p.m. But I would love to get you started right away. So take advantage of this. I hope to be on this journey with you. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for hearing this whole long-winded webinar. I want to hear from you. Please DM me and join the program. Become the Growth Accelerator. I can't wait to talk to you. And the ones in my last program, it's so cool because we talk all the time now, and they ask questions to me, and I'm there as part of their journey and part of their success journey. I want them to succeed, and I want them to help out in whatever way I can. And again, if you know me, you know what I stand for. You know that this is me, true to the core. You guys are awesome. Questions and answer time.
Ready?
Let's do it.
How long are the coaching sessions? We did that.
Okay, so how long are the coaching sessions? They can be anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. I want to make sure that I get to everybody.
Perfect. Will the boot camp be 6 Mondays starting on the 27th?
Will the boot camp be 6 Mondays starting on the, yes, it'll be every single Monday. The way it's set up now, it's wonderful because if you can't make it on Monday or if you work Mondays, it's video training. So it's going to be available to you on Monday, but you can watch it on Tuesday. You can watch it on Wednesday. You can watch it whatever fits into your schedule. Each training series is about an hour and a half commitment. Then you have about maybe 45 minutes of homework a week. And you get these incredible printouts from the homework, and it'll help to get you more clear initially on your perfect customer and everything, every party, your website, everything along the way on how to take your business to the next level. That's what it's all about. You know what? I'm going to video here. You guys got to see how excited I am. Where is it? Okay. You can see probably how sweaty I am too. All right, guys. Did you guys enjoy it? I had so much fun. I can't believe I know you have questions. We're still getting to it. All right. What other questions do we have?
Well, now I lost them.
All right. Thanks, Alex.
All right, ready?
Okay. Yeah, go.
Will the boot camp be able to be accessed later? And once I purchase it, can I rewatch it?
Yes. Once you purchase it, you can rewatch it as many times as you want. You have it for a lifetime. You have it for my lifetime, my business lifetime. Yeah, it's going to be available all the time for you. You never lose it. So if you're like, okay, I want to, because I know how life works. And 5 years ago, my priorities were a little different. Even a year and a half ago, before we had our little one, my priorities were a little bit different. So I had to go back and revisit, okay, what is my why now? What am I doing all this for? And then I got to think, now I was doing more coaching. I'm like, okay, so what is my goals with that now and that aspect of it and the online training and this. So it is something to be helpful to go back and rewatch and redo it and see like what you've learned and what you missed the first time. So yes, you always have access to it. What else we got?
What is the name of your podcast station?
The name of the podcast station is The Hairpreneur Show. You can go on iTunes. If you can't find it, just send me a DM at ryan.weeden and I'll give you the link, but it's at The Hairpreneur Show. Or not at The Hairpreneur Show, it's The Hairpreneur Show on iTunes.
Where can they go to purchase this?
Okay, you can purchase this right when we're done here. It'll pop up. You should get an email. I think it goes straight to the screen right after this. If you don't get it, I want to make sure you get advantage of this. I get the book out to you right away, even before the course starts, and get you all enrolled and everything like that. So we'll make sure it happens. Like once we end the webinar here, it'll go straight to that page so you can go ahead and get on.
How many seats are available?
How many seats are available? We're taking 50, and we had over 1,000 people register. We have 50 slots open, and last time it just went like this. It filled up fast. So enrollment does end Friday, but if you're not one of those 50, so we need to get you on there ASAP.
If you're already a member now, is it different videos?
If you're already a member of what? Okay, if you're already a member, do you get different videos? If you're already a member of the Growth Accelerator or a member of Balayage Online?
I believe the Growth Accelerator, they all came at the same time, questions.
Okay, if you're a part of the Growth Accelerator, the first one that we just had, this is going to be that same program. The difference is for you, now the people that have been through the Growth Accelerator program are going to have an option to move on to the next level of coaching, which is a program called Momentum. And that is where we continue to let the good times roll and focus on our business. So if you're already part of the Growth Accelerator, thanks for being here today. You can even please comment and just let us know how much you love it. And then I'm going to send you an email about how to get involved in the Momentum program.
What time do the semesters start on Monday? Seminars start on Monday?
Usually every Monday, the videos will be dropped. I think it starts about 11 a.m. So 11 a.m.-ish. I think maybe 10 a.m. I'll have to look at the timing, but it's early in the morning-ish on a Monday. You can sleep in, but then you get to work, crank it out, wake up when you wake up, and you'll get access to the videos. But once you actually sign up, we can already start talking about the forecast in the Growth Accelerator community.
Do you talk about product sales?
Do I talk about product sales? I talk about all kinds of selling. I talk about how to sell without selling. That is one of the biggest keys. And a lot of that is just getting confident with yourself as a person and what you do. And the more value you can give to that person, and I don't mean value by let me do a lot more balayage. There's so many different ways to add value throughout the entire process in the 6 levels of success, especially at the 6th level, where we talk about the guest experience. And we call it perceived value. The more perceived value you can add, the more money somebody's going to pay for you.
If this boot camp books up, will you send an email saying when the next one starts?
Yeah, if this boot camp books up, and we expect it to book up because the last one sold out very quickly. If this one books up really quickly, then we can put you on a wait list for the next one.
Someone is asking about the hair color Bible book.
The hair color Bible book. That's cool. Yeah. I think you go to Hair Color Bible on Instagram, and then they have a website link on there. For that I don't have any direct, of course I was part of the creation of that, like one of the artists in that, and I'm grateful to be part of that. They're going to start selling it, I believe, in Salon Centric soon. But send me a direct message on Instagram, and I can give you a direct link on how to find out more about that.
If someone misses the boot camp on Monday, how will they get their questions answered?
If someone misses their boot camp on a Monday, you can get their questions answered in the Accelerator community. That's available all the time. It's kind of like a private Facebook group without being on Facebook. It's even more private than that. So only members of that group can access it, and they'll get their questions and answered by me personally.
Do you have any advice for a stylist coming straight out of cosmetology school? What I do?
Ooh, advice for a stylist coming straight out of cosmetology school. Join the Growth Accelerator program. It is going to get you focused and fired up more than you have ever even known. Like, I remember how excited I was when I first got out of school, but I didn't know what I needed to do. I knew I needed experience. And yes, I found a salon and got started right away, but I didn't know what I was doing, why I was doing it. I just knew that I needed to get more experience. But if you have controlled experience, if you know where you want to go and why you want to go there, you're going to get there so much faster. It might take you 6 years on your own to get to where you could be in 6 weeks.
How do you build yourself as an individual while being a commission-based stylist?
How do you what?
How do you build yourself as an individual while being a commission-based stylist?
How do you build yourself as an individual stylist while you're a commission stylist? Yeah, that's a huge question and huge challenge in our industry. It comes down to what your salon owner will allow you to do. You don't want to be sneaky. You don't want to create this entire business outside of it. But if you have a salon owner that is with the times, They know that if they want their salon to be successful and they want you to be happy, you need to have demand for you as a stylist. So I would have a conversation with them and say, is it okay if I start to create my own brand within this brand? Not for the reason of taking my business somewhere else, but so that way I can create more demand and get more people in here constantly. I don't know a salon owner that would say like, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't want you to do that, because that means they're just afraid that they're going to lose you and lose their business. Then that's probably just not a good fit for you. I would find a salon where they're willing to allow you to do that. Just say, I want to have my own brand. I want to have my own business. I want to be responsible for my own clientele, still follow the salon rules and be part of the community here. But I want to be my own person and have that demand and people wanting to see me specifically. A couple more questions, then we'll.
I think that backs another question that was
Okay.
asked, and it's wanting to achieve more but feeling like you're limited because of your location and environment.
Yeah, what?
If you're wanting to achieve more but you're feeling like you're limited because of your location and your environment.
If you want to achieve more, but you're limited to your location and your environment. Well, if you're located to your location and your environment, I know people that are making well over 6 figures, some even more, and they started in a tiny town of less than 500 people, or even lower than that sometimes. But because of social media, because of this reach we now have, sky is the limit. You might not be able to reach a high 6 figures by just doing clients every single day. But what this training is going to teach you is how to think bigger, how to, okay, I can do clients and then I can maybe start an educational channel. I can create a podcast. You are going to be blown away by where your mind goes by starting to get focused on where you want to go and why you want to be there, and then how to get there. One more question, and then you know what? Let me just say this. I have time for one more question. I know my wife's going to get so mad at me here in a second.
I texted her.
Okay. And so, guys, if you're not part of the Balayage Mastermind, go to the Balayage Mastermind Facebook group. It's a private group. I want you guys to be part of it. You can ask all these questions, and you'll get answers from this entire support system of stylists that are already part of it, as well as myself. And I'll be happy to answer those questions here. But I want you guys to get enrolled in the Growth Accelerator program so we can get your success rolling. All right? You guys excited?
If I can take one more.
Yeah, one more.
From a salon owner, so I think that's a little bit different.
Salon owner, okay.
How to motivate the employees to look up for clientele and don't think the owner is the only one to bring clients to their chair.
Yes. If you're a salon owner and you want your client, you want your employees to not be lazy and actually be responsible for the salon's success, you need to offer more value. I think it's a value thing. If they don't feel like they're getting enough value from you, your salon, your salon's not going to see success. You're not going to see success. It's like you almost need to get rid of those types of people, and you don't want to just fire them, but you want to give incentives to people that show up. You want to give incentives to people that maybe bring in more clients. I've seen certain salon owners where they post in the back, how many new clients did so-and-so bring in? What is this person's reach or average income? And then you start to create this competition-based community, of stylists, because although some people might look at it like, oh, well, I don't want to compete against them. As a salon owner, you want them to be in competition, because if I go back in the break room and I'm a stylist at somebody's salon, which I have been, and I see like, oh, so-and-so sold more retail than me, and I'm going down the list here. I don't want to be at the bottom here. I want to be at the top here. So I'm gonna step up my game, and I'm gonna maybe I brought in more clients, and maybe my client list is this. My client list grew to here. You could have all these different strategies in place, and that would also be a great question as well to post at the Balayage Mastermind. So yes, wonderful question. Also, I think this would be an excellent program for you too, because it's going to get you more clear on why you own a salon and where you want to go with it, and then your ICA, your target clientele or your target customer could even potentially be not only the people that you bring into the salon, but people you hire. And you're going to get clear on the type of stylist you want to hire, and then you can focus targeted ads and targeted branding to attract that particular person that's going to come in and be responsible for their own success. And those are the kind of stylists that you need. What was that all about?
Someone said also big thank you to Ryan's wife and sweet baby for letting all hang with their man.
Guys, it has been such a pleasure. Thank you to Jenny and my little baby, and you guys, please join me on this journey. I bring the same motivation, inspiration, enthusiasm to help inspire greatness in all of you as you inspire greatness in me. So go sign up. If you have any questions about signing up or have any issues with it, let me know ASAP. But for right now, I'm going to sign out here, and I'll see you in the Growth Accelerator program, hopefully. All right, let's see how we end this.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Hang on, it's not ending. Okay, guys, talk to you soon. Thank you.
Nope.
Still here, I know.